Hey, welcome to a continuing episode of What Else You Got with Mitch and Margot. We've been talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. Have you watched the movie yet? If you've not watched the movie, hit pause, go watch the movie, come back because we're going to spoil it if you haven't watched it. Mitch, have you watched the movie?
Yeah, there's a reason why this is part two and we're talking about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
ask you if you've got a topic to talk about, but I've already got a topic. You
Okay,
ready?
let's hear it. Yep.
Okay. One of the things I loved about this music is the concept of the power of music. Music has significant power. And in our previous episode, we talked about the power of shame. And you talked about choosing hope. Well, one of my favorite songs is The Power of Love by Celine Dion. And so a couple of interesting points there. I was making a note on my notepad as I was watching the movie about how this is a movie about the power of music and how shame can be paralyzing. Well, Celine Dion, bless her heart, she is one of the greatest all-time singers of forever. And she that I looked it up back in I think 2022. um she announced that she'd been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, which is a paralyzing effect where she has been losing her ability to sing. There's an incredible documentary out about it, absolutely incredible. She's an incredible human being and an amazing singer, but she's losing her ability and power to sing, which I thought was an interesting correlation to the concept of this movie that uses the power of music to fight demons and to fight the power of shame. And I kid you not, as I was writing her name down on my notepad, right then the movie referenced a character named Celine. And I thought, wait, what? Are they on the same train of thought as I am? But no, the character Celine in the movie was a smaller role. Can I say that when she actually impacted the main character so significantly? I mean, the character named Celine in the movie actually had a very negative impact, opposite of real life Celine Dion. In the character in the movie had a negative impact on the main character, really led to her downfall and suffering from, debilitating shame.
It's quite interesting because as you bring that up there, so at near the beginning of Rumi's life, Celine says, cover what at the time they didn't realize it was a shame thing, but it was the mark of the demons. And she said, cover it up, hide it. We're going to protect you. We're going to hide everything and basically bury her, which if you look at that by itself, it's she's protecting. But at the very end of the movie, there's a very big stinger that you just go, ooh, they just completely unraveled that entire uh, attempts at protection and helping. Where major spoiler, Rumi has her markings come out, her patterns, and she comes up to Selena and goes, "I've fallen down. I've got this problem. To protect the role that I'm supposed to have, you need to kill me." And of course, Lynn goes, "I made a promise to your mom. I can't do that." And then Rumi says, "Why can't you accept me and why can't you love me?" And it's just one of those big stingers that you're going, "Ooh, here you thought she was," but at the end it just unravels to Celine only took care of Rumi because of a promise to her mom, with no regard for Rumi, and it literally led to Rumi's downfall. Go for it.
Oh gosh, it's so hard for me to not interrupt. I thought I was just going to explode because you offered a perfect segue to another one of my favorite all-time musicians, singers, artists, Kelly Clarkson. Okay, Kelly Clarkson has she sings one of my favorite songs called Dark Side. Have you ever heard it?
I have not heard that one.
Okay, one of my favorite songs. I pulled up the lyrics because I knew you'd be curious. So the lyrics are uh, There's a place that I know it's not pretty there and few have ever gone. If I show it to you now, will it make you run away? Or will you stay, even if it hurts? Even if I try to push you out, will you return? And remind me of who I really am. Please remind me who I really am. Everybody's got a dark side. Do you love me? Nobody's a picture perfect. You know that we're worth it. Will you love me even with my dark side? I mean, that's basically what the conversation between the two characters in the movie. The main character was asking her maternal figure, "Can you just love me even with my dark side?" And the maternal figure was, "No, let's cover it up. Let's not let anybody else see that." And the main character just wanted to be loved. Everybody's got a dark side. This is a fact. Every single person on this planet has a dark side, big or small, hidden or exposed. We've all got a dark side. So, how hard are you going to judge another person? Or are you going to love them even with their dark side? Thank you, Kelly Clarkson. You're awesome.
So going back to the some of the music in it, one of the top songs, um, which I got a couple interesting facts on that. So one of the top songs, "Golden," which is in the movie, it's the song of the movie, either that or Soda Pop. But one of the really interesting trivia between Golden and Soda Pop, they have made the top 10 and in some areas the number one in music charts. And the last time a fictional group has made top 10 music charts was Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana aired almost 20 years ago.
Well, and that was actually one of my questions watching the movie was, were these I mean, I know the movie's fiction, hello, Demon Hunters. um but were the
Huntress?
music groups fictional? Because
Yep.
at the did you watch it clear past the credits when it showed the girl band film recording the music? So I wondered, were these song I mean, the girls who actually sang the songs, are they a real band?
They are not a formal group. One of the main characters, I believe the one who sings for Rumi, was actually sidestepped multiple times for many other music opportunities, but the music industry left her behind. And so this is one of those that a lot of side conversation on social media basically says that this shows that even though mainstream media says no, if you say yes, you can make it happen.
Okay, but again, let's see if I can phrase this in a non-offensive way. Probably not. Um, this goes back to my topic from the previous episode of how the movie begins, where I talked about body dysmorphia. Um, are the songs a big hit because the fictional characters singing them are so attractive and appealing? Because no, I mean, I'm not a gorgeous person. I don't wear makeup. My fingernails aren't painted. I'm not a socially defined pretty person. um I was thrilled when they showed the real people singing the music at the very, very end of the movie. Now, those are beautiful people to me. Those are real females singing, and they weren't all made up in a ton of makeup. Their hair wasn't done up all fancy. They weren't wearing, elaborate outfits. They were real people who were singing with their real talent and their real skills. So, um, part of my question is, if that one person you mentioned got passed up several times, was it because she didn't fit? Uh, well, I don't know who passed her up. I don't know if it was a man or a woman who passed her up, but did she get passed up because she didn't fit a male's perspective of what a female should look like?
I think that's what it was. But before we wander too far off, I want to go hit the point I was going for with the music. So one reason why I think the music hit so well was when it really came down to it, it highlights multiple different things. So with Golden, it talks about how the main characters, they were isolated at some point. They got tired of living their double lives, but then they were able to come together and they were able to well, one of the pre-chorus parts, as the lyrics says here. I'm done hiding. I'm now shining, uh, like I'm born to be. We be dreaming hard, or we're dreaming hard. We came so far. Now I believe, and so it's just one of those that when you start believing in yourself, believing in those around you, because even the music video inside of the movie showed the three of them started off separate, but when they came together, that's where everything turned golden, and they're able to take off and really succeed. And it's one of those that it's got the power, it's got the energy, and I really love the message of the song of just you are who you are, and it's really once you accept who you are and you're able to share who you are and you learn how to share who you are and find the right group to accept you, because yes, you can share who you are, but if you share it to the wrong people, it sucks. But that's where you find the right people, it's phenomenal. And so that's one of the things I really love is the that was literally one of the underlying themes of the entire movie was be who you are. And even though it's called Golden, and the song has a golden message, the intent behind it was to do the make the harmoon golden, where it really comes down to where it's the barrier that keeps demons out. They're trying to go for the perfect state, but the thing I love about their attempt to hit the perfect state with this song is it continually failed. And then to shift a little bit to failing, another big spoiler at the very end, when Rumi's confronting Celine, she goes, "If this is the harmoon I'm defending, I am happy to watch it fail." And which goes back to the Celine couldn't accept her for who she was, and the big part at the end of the movie when they're talking, or when Rumi's getting her group back together, she basically says, "We're making a new harmoon because we want to make it correct, accepting, inclusive, where you don't have to fit this perfect standard. We can be who we are to achieve this unity of everyone."
I would like to have a conversation with a larger group of people about whether or not this movie is triggering. Because for me, I thought it, for me personally, triggering in a couple of ways. One, that whole concept of a maternal figure not accepting you for who you are, that could be triggering to a lot of people. There should be trigger warnings at the beginning of the movie, maybe, but it's supposed to be a kids' movie. Um, and then, secondly, anybody who's ever incurred any sort of betrayal trauma, someone who's been betrayed by someone who is so focused on hiding their shame that it impacts people around them negatively. So while this is supposed to be a kids movie, um,
Grant, with the way you're approaching it, I can say that with all kinds of movies, like Shrek, great kids movie. But when you learn what the adult innuendos are, you're going, "How did this make it into a kids movie?" So it's
I've never watched Shrek.
okay. Well, pick a Disney movie; they've got them too. But it's one of those that I like it when creators know that it's a kids movie, but you got to leave something for the adults to enjoy. So
Yeah,
it's
but is it enjoying? I like to your point, I like the kids movies where there are jokes that only adults are going to get. I like those.
mhm.
But the messages for adults in this movie, they're pretty deep and kind of dark.
Well, I find that, which we'll get into this in future episodes, there's a couple of TV series that I just absolutely love for the therapeutic approach. Yes, you're not supposed to be watching TV for therapy, but my
I do.
therapist tells me I need to quit watching TV for therapy. But,
Well, are you going
uh,
to give me an example?
well, yeah, because one of my, so I'm not going to name things because I want to save it for later. One of my
Oh, but
favorite
now I'm
animes of all
curious.
time. Season one starts off fun. Season three, major losses. And by the time they get through, you see each of the characters resolve the losses, except for the main character who doesn't resolve their trauma until the ninth season. 6 seasons
Well,
later.
I don't know that that's mental health as much as a character arc of a good story,
It
because
is.
a good character arc, your main character or character starts here, they experience at least three major problems, and then they end up a completely different version or opposite version of where they started. So what you might be interpreting as mental health, mental growth, it's like a standard character arc of
Yes, but
storytelling.
it's a character arc, and there's a reason why my therapist says I need to quit watching TV for therapy because I relate to the characters and I get to vicariously go through their character art, aka go through therapy
But
with them.
why is that bad? Why does she tell you to stop doing it? Doesn't it
Well,
bring you, it doesn't allow you to bring content to your next appointment?
yes, the reason why she tells me to stop is I need to have entertainment, not therapy all the time.
Can't they both be the same?
Yeah, that's why I keep watching them.
I'm pretty sure that's why my therapist looks forward to me coming each week with a smile on her face because I think I'm probably pretty entertaining to have as a mental health client.
But yeah, so just going back to K-pop, it's one of those that yes, there's very heavy topics for adults who have lived quite a few of these, but for my perception of kids movies, lots of color, lots of emotion, lots of music. It's better than a Disney movie.
Uh-oh, did we just lose a bunch of followers because you said that? Are we going
I
to
don't
lose our
know.
major sponsor that is Disney?
When they start paying, I'll censor more.
Wait, we get paid? What?
Not yet.
Oh,
We're working on that part.
I thought we were just having fun talking.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of this. But yeah, it's one of those that's there's just so many different things, and that's why I think one of the reasons why K-pop Demon Hunters is such a hit is because there's so many facets to it, and everyone's picking it apart at every single angle. You've got the fan theory on how things work. You've got the therapy theory. You've got the music approach. You've got the dances, which that's actually one of the funny things that I saw a parallel
Well, and I have
where
another thing to say about singers too.
okay,
Because we were talking about different singers and we were talking about how you mentioned the one singer from the movie, the real life one, had lost some opportunities, and we briefly touched on why that could have possibly been. And another name that popped into my head was Jennifer Hudson. You know, when she first appeared on American Idol and the Mean Judge, I remember his name, but I don't need to say it. I'm sure people who are aware know who I'm talking about anyhow. But he was so mean to her, and he made it pretty clear that she wouldn't make it far in the industry because she didn't look like a superstar should look. Well, you want to know what? Jennifer Hudson is one of the all-time greats. I mean, she has won so many awards and done so well. Every time she has a success, I'm just like, "You go, girl!
oh yeah,
You
she
do
was in
you."
the Cats remake, and she just nailed the role she had.
Cats?
Yeah, she was in Cats.
I don't think I knew that, but I'm a big Jennifer Hudson fan. She's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. I love her. I think she's terrific. So if somebody tells you no, you can't do something because of the way you look, you know what? Just go ahead and do it anyhow and do what you love to do and just keep pushing toward your goals. Don't believe what some dummy tells you. Just pursue your goals.
And what it's kind of interesting when you say a couple of things like that because one of the thoughts that I actually had reoccurring throughout the entire movie was it kind of had a little bit of an MLK feel, Martin Luther King Jr., just in the sense of uh, moving towards progress and acceptance and working together and not having these stereotypes that people have to fit into to be able to achieve certain things is just one of those that we're all human. We're all here to working on the same stuff. So why not be friendly to each other?
You know, and you know what? There's also a saying out there that everybody's fighting a hard battle, so just be nice to each other. We we don't we don't see what other people are struggling with, and so we don't typically see. So let's just be kind to each other and let's not hide our shames. Let's let's not give power to the demons. I think I wrote something down. Um
And just as you're finishing that, so with don't get into the shame and stuff, because that's basically the final sequence of the movie where someone's struggling with something, and it's that struggle is what brings them to that final concert where
yep.
they almost lost their souls to the Demon King.
Yes. And one of the things I wrote down, this might be a direct quote, can't quite remember. I was a little tired last night. I wrote down from the movie, we can't fix Wait. We can't fix it if you never face it.
I think that was from the movie. I think that was a quote.
It might be a direct quote. I don't know. My handwriting was a little. I was watching the movie in the dark, and yeah, well, um, so you can't fix it if you never face it. And and then at some point in the movie, it talked about we can't tell your lies from your truth.
Yep,
There,
that was
there's
another
an
quote.
there's an awesome book called The Four Agreements. It's one of my favorite books, and it talks in there. The four agreements are basically be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. But so in one of those categories, I don't remember if it's either I think it might be under the don't take things personally agreement, but it talks about how everybody lies. And so if you're easily offended because somebody lied about something, so whether someone's lying because they're hiding their personal shame or lying for some other reason, if you're easily offended by that, then life's going to be a lot more challenging for you. Because the fact of the matter is everybody lies. There's different reasons, there's different degrees, but if you accept the truth that sometimes you lie, it'll be easier for you to accept the truth that somebody else has lied also. And it's just it's part of our world. Everybody lies. And so then in the movie that we watched, when it talked about we can't tell your lies from your truth, well, if you're going to be angry that somebody lied, you're going to be angry a lot. So instead of just sitting in anger that somebody lied to you, maybe ask yourself, why did they lie? And ask yourself, or at least acknowledge, I wonder what they're going through, what trial has been so hard for them, or trauma has been so hard for them that they felt that they needed to lie in this moment. Is there a secret shame that they're trying to hide and lying about? So maybe we could just be a little kinder to each other, accept that people lie, and usually there's a reason why they lied. So let's just be nicer to each other.
That's a great ending. Just be nice to people and work with them.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess suppose that is our time for this episode. Mitch, are we going to have more to carry this conversation into another episode?
We shall see.
All right, then. Well, we'll wrap it up for today. This has been What Else You Got with Mitch and Margot. Feel free to click all of the things, the like, the share, the comment. Feel free to engage us in conversation. We love it when you leave comments and we will respond. So, if you haven't watched the movie, go watch the movie. We've probably told you all of the content by now, but K-pop Demon Hunters, it's a great movie to discuss.